Hello, my little Pokemon. He's here with you tonight, and a little cheerful. I'm just doing a cheery full suit video, and we're gonna have a thought. Today's thoughts is vegetables. Yeah, I know. I just watched everyone click off the video there. I just mentioned the V word that no one likes to enjoy. But hey, I actually do like my vegetables, so that's the thing. There you go. Crooked. So vegetables often come in one of three main forms and one fourth form in rare cases. We have fresh, canned, frozen, and as a line that can be dried, like beans. So, are any of them bad, worse, or better? Well, let's look at the nature of the things. Fresh means it has to actually have been shipped from where it was grown to wherever you are. So if it's wintertime and the nearest place a pea can be grown is, 500 miles south of you, it may not be the freshest. Most frozen vegetables are frozen like the day they're picked. So it may be a little fresher, but it's lived in a freezer. Canned vegetables have to be cooked to the boiling point for a certain period of time or to a certain extra temperature to make sure that we don't get, botulism. I prefer when I don't get botulism, but some people like to get that injected in their face, and they call it Botox. Fun fact, Botox is botulism. Fun fact. I get to teach you science today if you somehow didn't know that one. Now, not every vegetable is necessarily best flavored in the fresh form. Not every vegetable is necessarily the worst in canned form. And some foods really do have major distinct flavor differences, while others, not so much. As far as beans go, the dried variant, I really do love those in making a big 14, 15 bean soup with ham, or using that in a pot of chili. That's just wonderful. You have a lot of variety, and yeah, you got to soak those overnight first, but they do make a rather great bean product. And they're shelf stable for like nigh on forever, so they're even more stable than a canned food, really. As long as you keep them dry, they're dried beans for like ever. But there's no shame in enjoying a canned bean in your chilies and soups and things. I mean, they're inexpensive, they're full of protein, and again, really long shelf stability. I don't feel like beans really get hurt that much by the canning process. If anything, they're one of the most stable products there is, vegetable-wise. So canning, the whole getting them up to this safe spot and keeping them there, not that big a deal. Corn, I dare say, tastes almost exactly the same, fresh, frozen, or canned. Like seriously, I barely notice a difference. So yes, there is a little bit, but not enough to really make a difference. The only reason I care about fresh corn is because I can eat it on the cob, which is fun to do. I'm not gonna lie, that's entertainment. But when it comes to canned or frozen corn, it really comes down to the brand who has a better flavor product slightly. And yes, I do notice the difference between different brands of canned or frozen corn. And yeah, opinion of the day is what one I'll feel like eating. And well, if it's freezer space an issue or shelf space an issue, that kind of helps decide. Peas are a very divisive thing. I can't see an excuse why I'd buy fresh ones. I just don't. because they cost so much. And I really don't feel like they have a great fresh taste to them when you get fresh ones. Frozen ones taste like fresh ones probably should, because those actually quick freeze so well on the farm, and then we end up with delicious, kind of fresh tasting peas. Now, on the flip side, a canned pea has an entirely different flavor than a fresh or frozen pea. It is so distinct. The boiling process, the sanitizer, whatever process it takes to make it shelf stable, it changes the flavor of the pea in an odd way. A lot of people can't stand the canned peas. I actually really enjoy that flavor, and personally, for me, that's a good midnight snack. Is bust out a can of peas, put a little butter in it, a little salt. You are in town for a snacky poo. I'd take that over a bag of potato chips almost any day. So yeah, there's a lot of different choices. Carrots. This is the day before I'm cooking our Thanksgiving dinner on Saturday, the day after Thanksgiving. Um, and I'm actually cooking fresh carrots because I'm making mashed carrots. I think that Autumn came to, say, let's do this, and we kind of done it quite a few times since then. It actually turns out well. Neither of us like mashed potatoes, so nice, sweet, tasty root. But the fresh carrots have a much bolder flavor than, say, frozen or canned. In fact, there is a good gliding scale on carrots from fresh having the most bright flavor, frozen next, and the canned ones, they actually really seem to lose a lot in the canning process. Now, granted, a can of store brand carrots is only like 50 cents. So it's hard to say that's a bad value for what you're getting, and you get your vegetable out of it. Frozen carrots are better, but they take a lot more. They take up freezer space. And they're not that much better than a frozen one. And fresh ones, to try and cook them to status takes a lot more time and energy than it does to heat up, say, a can of canned ones. And by the time you've heated them up to where they're squishy enough to enjoy as a cooked carrot, they mostly lost all that flavor anyway. So if you're just cooking for day-to-day basis, frozen if you have space, but canned, all basically the same situation in the end. I don't think I've ever seen canned broccoli, but I have cooked fresh broccoli over frozen broccoli. And here's my special hot take on this one. I'll do the frozen by far more readily if given the two choices. You often get them in these steamable bags. So all you got to do is put it in the microwave and hit 6 minutes, and it actually steamed the broccoli as opposed to having to pull out a pan, cut up the head of broccoli, and then work on the timetable of how long does it take to make that fresh broccoli cooked. Whereas that bag of bird's eye, I know, says right on it, 6 minutes. I hit 6 minutes on the microwave, let stand for a minute. I have a delicious, sweet bag of broccoli. Brussels sprouts, I don't think I've ever seen those canned. I don't know if I think that would be a good idea. Frozen again, free those ready-to-go bags. Again, no problem there. 6 minutes. Vegetable. Sugar snap peas, same thing. We buy those a lot. Fresh Brussels sprouts, either off the stem or on the big stem thing, you have to make sure they're cooked enough and not overcooked. That's a lot of effort for not as much payout as it seems like you're going to get. So, yeah, if someone takes the time and cooks a fresh vegetable, and or is really good at a specific fresh vegetable, and can get them at a reasonable price, and can actually cook them before they've spoiled in the fridge, because most of us are going grocery shopping once every week or two, meaning a lot of times it's hard to keep a fresh veg in the house for Thursday night's dinner. Now it's a special occasion, Thanksgiving or whatever, I saw some people cooking some roast Brussels sprouts. I'm envious. That looked good. I saw some Twitter posts with those. I would love those. I don't have the time for that. One, usually you have to cut them all in half, then you have to like season them and stuff, and then bake them off. Already, my oven is full for tomorrow's dinner. I have the beans, I have the sweet potatoes, I have at least one can of rolls. Probably gonna do two, because we're flaky layers and crescent rolls. Because I'm a masochist. um, but yeah, uh, canned or frozen or fresh or dry in some cases. Big question. What do you think? Do you have a favorite vegetable, and which way do you like to get it from? Canned, fresh, frozen, dried. And how do you like to prepare it? What way is your special secret to make that one vegetable the best vegetable? Think veg here for me, kids. I ain't going vegetarian on anything. I just like having vegetables with my dinner, and I really do enjoy quite a few of them. I certainly still need my meat, though, and I'm looking forward to gobbles tomorrow. His brine's cooling on the stove and waiting to go on top of him. Ooh, it's going to be so good. Anyway, I definitely want to thank you all for taking the time to watch my silliness and discussing vegetables, and this Pokemon is going to see you all in the near future.